before humans crossed the great mountain ranges of North America, before science understood how life conquers the heights. There already existed a kingdom of rock and ice, where only the most resilient hunters could stand tall at the peak. In the wild Rockies, among snow-capped peaks, alpine forests, steep cliffs and remote valleys, tough predators must endure extreme winters, food scarcity and relentless terrain, using strength, stealth and endurance to maintain their dominance. Welcome to the wild Rocky Mountains, the most ferocious predators that dominate the peaks. Please give us a like and subscribe to the channel to give us more motivation to produce more quality content. Don't forget to comment your thoughts on the video below and let us know where you're watching from to discuss together. Let's start. While the grizzly relies on the strength of a single body, the grey wolf turns cooperation into its greatest weapon. It is the grey wolf, Canis lupus, one of the most efficient social predators of the mountains and forests of North America. Their packs are formed by family groups united through strong social bonds and constant communication. Each individual can assume a different function during the hunt, from starting the pursuit to closing off a possible escape route. Their extraordinary endurance allows them to travel great distances and maintain pressure on prey for much longer than many other predators. However, their true power diminishes when they hunt alone, because large prey demand coordination and mutual support. Across a snow-covered valley, the pack detects a group of elk moving slowly in search of food. The wolves do not attack immediately. They begin to follow them from a distance while carefully studying each individual. They look for signs of weakness, a limp, an exhausted animal, or anyone who has difficulty keeping up with the group. When they identify a vulnerable target, several wolves separate and begin to advance from different angles. The pressure forces the chosen elk to move away little by little from the protection of the rest of the pack. Suddenly, the pursuit begins, and the valley's silence is broken by the sound of paws hitting the snow. Some wolves maintain pressure from behind, while others try to cut off the path and force the prey to change direction. As minutes pass, the deep snow and accumulated effort begin to reduce the elk's speed. In the snowy mountains of North America, the grey wolf proves that endurance, discipline, and precise coordination can turn an entire pack into a single hunting machine. While the echo of the wolf pack fades in the valley, absolute silence reigns on the rocky escarpments of the high peaks. Among the basalt crevices emerges the puma, a hunter whose elegance hides one of the continent's most efficient tracking machines. With a tawny-colored coat that blends with the tone of the dry stone, this feline is practically invisible to any creature below. Unlike social canids, the puma relies solely on its stealth to get close enough and launch an attack of surgical precision. Its hind legs are proportionally the longest of all felines, allowing it to perform vertical jumps of up to 5 meters in height. The puma travels the ridges looking for the trail of a mule deer, moving along 60-degree slopes with amazing ease. However, its greatest weakness is its solitude, as it does not have the backing of a group to protect its catches from heavier competitors. Its eyes, capable of processing light with a sensitivity 6 times superior to ours, detect a subtle movement among the bushes 100 meters away. The puma's retractable claws act as natural crampons, guaranteeing perfect stability while preparing for the final descent. Conscious of the risk, the puma uses its strength to drag the 60-kilogram body toward a dense refuge, hiding it under branches and dirt. Despite its precautions, the rustle of dry leaves indicates it is not alone, and a massive shadow begins to project over its hiding place. When winter covers the valleys, food sources become scarce, causing the boundaries between predators to begin blurring. A puma rests next to its prey's body, but the surrounding air suddenly becomes tense due to a strange scent traveling with the wind. While the puma represents solitary patience, the grey wolf pack is the embodiment of collective power and tireless coordination in the open field. The pack, composed of 6 members, advances in a line with the sole objective of appropriating any energy source available for the group. If the big cat decides to protect its trophy, it faces the risk of being surrounded by predators with a total weight exceeding 300 kilograms. The wolves use their sharp sense of smell to follow the protein trail that disperses in the frigid air from a distance of 2,000 meters. The grey wolf possesses a bite force of 1,200 newtons, allowing them to quickly process the prey's bones to compensate for energy spent. The puma emits a deep growl to warn of its presence, but the opponent's overwhelming numbers make its intimidation attempt seem insufficient. The pack begins to disperse to execute a pincer tactic, forcing the solitary cat to step back before the insistent offensive of the canines. Upon noticing the physical disparity, the puma quickly jumps toward a rocky ledge to preserve its life and leaves the food to the invaders. This interaction shows a harsh aspect of nature, where numerical success usually has the advantage in disputes over vital resources. This confrontation is only the beginning of a long winter where every step hides inevitable encounters between the sovereigns of the mountains. Frigid air descends from the snow-capped peaks of the Rocky Mountains, sweeping through the valleys where century-old pines guard the secrets of untamed nature. On the edge of this dense forest, an imposing figure emerges from the gloom, breaking the morning's tranquility with its mere presence. It is a grizzly bear, a giant whose weight can reach 350 kilograms, dominating every corner of this mountainous ecosystem. Its most notable physical feature is the hump of muscles on its shoulders that grants it extraordinary strength for digging and performing powerful attacks. This creature's olfactory system is legendary, exceeding human capacity by thousands of times, allowing it to detect food at a distance of several kilometers. With its non-retractable claws up to 10 centimeters long, the bear can tear apart fallen trunks or defend its position against any intruder. However, beneath this facade of absolute power lies a biological urgency that drives its every movement at this time of year. Winter is approaching, and the bear must enter a state of hyperphagia where it consumes up to 20,000 calories daily to accumulate fat reserves. Failure in the search for massive energy would mean not surviving the long months of lethargy under deep snow. Its small but attentive eyes scan the nearby river, where the water flows at a temperature of barely 4 degrees Celsius. Despite its slow appearance, the grizzly can run at 55 kilometers per hour, a surprising speed for an animal of its volume. Its diet is extremely versatile, ranging from roots and berries to large mammals, adapting to what the environment offers in each season. It uses a bite force of 1,200 newtons, allowing it to process foods that other predators would simply ignore. The bear positions itself strategically on the shore, waiting for the moment when nature's abundance manifests before it. But time is running against it, and competition with other males for the best fishing spots is about to begin. Coniferous forests sink under a heavy white mantle, where winter silence is only broken by the cracking of ice under the wind. A bull elk emerges from the frozen foliage with its imposing branched antlers that look like crowns carved by the northern climate's rigor. With a weight that can reach 320 kilograms, this herbivore represents one of the most coveted energy sources of the Rocky Mountains. Its goal is to locate the last patches of dry vegetation that remain buried under half a meter of compacted snow. If it cannot find nourishment soon, its glycogen levels will drop drastically, leaving it without strength to escape an imminent ambush. The elk begins its search using its sharp hooves to dig into the frozen ground, showing a physical endurance molded by millennia of adaptation. Scientifically, this animal reduces its heart rate during winter to conserve body heat, while its thick coat traps an insulating layer of air. However, food scarcity forces the individual to move constantly, which generates an energy expenditure that can be difficult to recover. As it advances along the slope, its senses detect an unusual vibration in the air, indicating it is not the only living being patrolling this area. This ungulate possesses the ability to run at 70 kilometers per hour, an essential speed for putting distance between itself and its pursuers. Danger manifests when a shadow glides between the trunks, forcing the elk to make a sharp turn toward the steeper terrain. To defend itself, it can launch powerful kicks that generate an impact force of several thousand newtons, capable of warding off any minor threat. After a short but intense pursuit, the giant succeeds in losing itself in the density of the pines by taking advantage of its knowledge of the rugged territory. The elk's survival ensures that the cycle of life continues, allowing the mountain ecosystem to maintain its biological balance. But winter has just begun, and the fresh tracks in the snow suggest that the next encounter will be much more difficult to avoid. As we ascend toward the frozen peaks, an inhabitant emerges whose tenacity challenges the climate's hostility with absolute strength. The wolverine, known technically as gulo, is the most indomitable warrior patrolling the northern boreal geography. With a body mass of up to 25 kilograms, it possesses a muscle density and physical power disproportionate to its biological scale. Its limbs feature massive claws that act as natural snowshoes, allowing it to navigate over the snowy relief without technical difficulty. Its jaw is a superior pressure tool, capable of processing tissues hardened by the cold through phenomenal mechanical power. It is a tireless marcher that can travel distances of 40 kilometers daily in search of energy resources distributed across the terrain. Its olfactory sensory system is extraordinary, detecting the presence of organic matter buried deep under layers of ice. Its greatest biological challenge is the scattered nature of its nourishment, which forces it to maintain uninterrupted vigilance over its domain. Before the approach of larger-scale trackers, the wolverine deploys a technical audacity that commands respect even from forest sovereigns. Its thick and moisture-repellent fur conserves thermal heat in conditions where the temperature drops below -30 degrees Celsius. As a specialist in endurance, it optimizes every gram of vital energy to ensure its persistence at the planet's most rigorous altitudes. The wolverine is the sentinel of the precipices, a masterpiece of evolution reigning with absolute courage and autonomy. The dry slopes of the Rocky Mountains dress in ochre tones under the winter sun where the cold wind blows through the sagebrush. In the shadows of the rocky canyons, the most persistent predators lurk, waiting for a single moment of carelessness to break the balance of life in this relentless terrain. A female mule deer appears in the landscape, moving her large ears to catch any minimum frequency announcing an intrusion. Her hearing is one of the most developed among ungulates, allowing her to identify low-frequency sounds at a distance of hundreds of meters. Near her, a small 20-kilogram calf tries to stay on its feet on the unstable ground, unaware of the silent dangers surrounding it. This deer's eyes are located laterally, giving it a 310-degree visual field to monitor the horizon without needing to turn its head. The lack of green forage forces the mother to descend toward more exposed areas where vegetation is scarce and the risk of detection increases. To move over the rocks, they use a unique jumping technique called stotting, where all four legs hit the ground simultaneously to propel the body upward. A subtle change in the breeze activates the alarm signals, and the mother emits a dry snort before launching her first explosive jump. The fawns succeed in following their mother's pace thanks to the elasticity of their tendons, which act as natural springs on the rough basalt. This mechanical agility allows the mule deer to thrive on slopes where other competitors would be hampered by gravity and extreme fatigue. But as the prey move toward the heights, the shrewder hunters begin to coordinate their next maneuver in the mountain's lower levels. In the snowy forests of the northern Rocky Mountains, large tracks advance over deep snow without sinking into it. They belong to the Canada lynx, Lynx canadensis, a feline perfectly adapted to the long and cold winters of North America. Its thick fur conserves heat even when temperatures drop well below the freezing point. Its long legs and enormous feet distribute body weight over a wide surface, acting almost like natural snowshoes. This adaptation helps it move with agility on soft snow where many other animals would have great difficulties. Its primary prey is the snowshoe hare, and the lynx's life is closely linked to the abundance of this small herbivore. When hare populations decline, lynxes find less food, and their numbers may also drop in the following years. Among the snow-covered conifers, a lynx slowly advances while listening for any sound coming from the thickets. Suddenly, a very slight movement under the branches reveals the presence of a hare looking for food. The lynx lowers its body and begins to approach in silence, using trunks and vegetation to hide its presence. Each step shortens the distance while the hare continues feeding without detecting the hunter. When close enough, the lynx abandons stealth and lunges forward with a sudden acceleration. The hare tries to escape through the snow, but the feline uses its long legs to quickly follow over the soft terrain. With a final jump, the lynx extends its front paws and catches the prey before it can reach the safety of the bushes. In the snowy forests of the Rockies, the Canada lynx proves that legs designed for snow, stealth, and extraordinary hunting specialization can turn a relentless winter into hunting territory. In the lower reliefs of the Rocky Mountains, a shrewd tracker masters the art of persistence through ingenuity. The coyote, technically named Canis latrans, is the undisputed sovereign of versatility in transition ecosystems. Its physiognomy is designed for constant mobility, with a weight that ranges between 10 and 20 kilograms on average. It possesses an exceptional auditory sensory system capable of capturing subtle frequencies emitted by small rodents under the mineral relief. Its large and erect ears act as biological radars that monitor every centimeter of the mountainous geography. Unlike other specialized predators, its dietary regime is highly flexible and diverse according to the climatic season. It can process everything from plant matter and wild fruits to small vertebrates, optimizing its organic energy flow. This inhabitant demonstrates superior technical intelligence by rhythmically navigating between the territories of massive trackers like the grey wolf. When patrolling the terrain, it can operate with absolute autonomy or coordinate encounters in small, highly cohesive family units. Its encounter tactic is based on a silent approach, using the rugged relief to neutralize the target's perception. In a technical acceleration race, the coyote reaches speeds of 65 kilometers per hour to secure its biological sustenance. It communicates through a symphony of howls and rhythmic acoustic signals that establish sovereignty over its geographical domain. Its adaptability allows it to thrive at variable altitudes, challenging resource scarcity with absolute mastery. As a biological regulator of small mammal populations, it ensures the ecosystem's dynamism remains at healthy levels. The coyote is the sentinel of ingenuity, a masterpiece of resilience reigning with wisdom in the heart of the Rockies. In the depths of the boreal taiga, where snow dictates the rules of visibility, lives a specialist in technical evasion. The American hare, known scientifically as Lepus americanus, is the fundamental piece that sustains the northern food web. Its biological architecture allows it to undergo an absolute chromatic metamorphosis, changing its coat according to the cycle of the seasons. During the rigor of winter, its mantle acquires an immaculate white that provides perfect optical camouflage against the frozen relief. When the summer thaw arrives, the resident regains brown tones to rhythmically blend with the forest floor's organic matter. Its hind limbs are massive and act as natural snowshoes, allowing it to float on the surface of the soft snow. This structure distributes its mass of barely 1.5 kilograms, preventing it from sinking into the gelid powder during its transit. It possesses large-scale ears that act as acoustic radars, capturing the frequency of trackers patrolling the environment. The Canada lynx and red fox monitor every vibration, waiting for a millimetric failure in the hare's stealth. Faced with a signal of foreign presence, the hare activates explosive acceleration, reaching speeds of up to 45 kilometers per hour. It performs technical turns and 3-meter jumps to rhythmically break the thermal trail that coyotes follow in the gloom. From the heights, the golden eagle evaluates its aerial trajectory, turning every meadow into a stage of high biological tension. Its diet is based on the processing of tender shoots and bark, extracting the energy necessary to maintain its thermal homeostasis. As a keystone species, its rhythmic abundance dictates the reproductive success and stability of the ecosystem's elite predators. The American hare is the silent motor of wildlife, a masterpiece of resilience reigning under the green canopy. In the crystalline basins of the Rocky Mountains, an architect resides whose work rhythmically redefines the geographical and biological relief. The American beaver, technically Castor canadensis, is the undisputed sovereign of natural engineering in the northern aquatic ecosystem. Its morphology stands out with hind limbs equipped with interdigital membranes, allowing it to navigate the liquid with superior technical efficiency. It possesses a wide and flattened tail that acts as a precision rudder beneath the surface and as an acoustic communication tool. Faced with a sign of risk, the inhabitant hits the water rhythmically, emitting a warning that resonates across the entire fluvial geography. Its home, called a lodge, is a technical structure with entrances located below the liquid level to neutralize the tracker's proximity. With absolute persistence, the beaver collects logs and mud to erect dams that challenge the stream's mechanical power. Its iron-reinforced incisors exert a pressure of 500 newtons, allowing it to process solid wood with amazing speed. These dams slow down the water flow, transforming dynamic streams into deep ponds and stable, productive wetland systems. By modifying the mineral relief, it creates new biological niches where fish and amphibians find refuge and vital nutrition sources. Water birds and various vertebrates converge in these water oases, rhythmically increasing the ecosystem's diversity and balance. The sediment deposit in the ponds acts as a natural filter, ensuring the purity of the vital liquid in the lower basins. An adult specimen can reach a mass of 30 kilograms, optimizing its metabolism to work under temperatures of 0 degrees Celsius. It is a motor of constant renewal, dedicating much of its solar cycle to the maintenance and expansion of its hydrological architecture. As a keystone species, the beaver ensures that the pulse of wildlife remains vibrant and healthy in the heart of the highlands. On the rugged ridges of the Rocky Mountains, the bighorn sheep, named Ovis canadensis, rises as the sovereign of the slopes. Its most imposing feature is a massive set of horns that can reach a mass of 14 kilograms, symbolizing its status and authority. It possesses superior technical agility to navigate through the mineral relief, using hooves that generate absolute adherence to the rock. With the arrival of the reproductive cycle, the slopes transform into a stage of high-intensity biological confrontation. Two dominant males evaluate each other millimetrically, preparing for a demonstration of mechanical power unparalleled in the relief. They initiate a technical acceleration run toward each other, reaching speeds of up to 30 kilometers per hour before the encounter. The impact force generates a massive pressure of thousands of newtons that resonates across the mountainous geography like thunder. Its cranial architecture possesses layers of specialized bone tissue that act as a shock absorber to process the strike's energy. This rhythmic interaction repeats for hours, being a test of physical stamina and absolute resilience under solar radiation. However, this technical display demands a phenomenal metabolic expenditure just before the temperature drops below 0 degrees Celsius. The individual who conserves vitality after the duel ensures the continuity of their lineage in the boreal winter's hostility. The bighorn sheep is the guardian of persistence, a titan of the precipices reigning with an unbreakable strength. In the vertical frontiers, where the air becomes thin, the Rocky Mountain goat stands as the supreme acrobat of the heights. This ungulate, technically named Oreamnos americanus, inhabits the steepest cliffs where few trackers can intervene. Its hooves possess unique biological engineering, with hard edges and internal pads that generate absolute adherence to the rock. This mechanical specialization allows it to maintain precision balance on ledges barely a few centimeters wide. Its thick white coat acts as a superior thermal insulator, protecting its organism from winds that exceed 100 kilometers per hour. An adult specimen reaches a mass of up to 140 kilograms, concentrating a formidable muscular power in its front limbs. It uses the rugged relief as a natural defensive wall, rhythmically neutralizing the technical advantage of large felines. However, its sovereignty is compromised when it must descend toward the lower strata in search of minerals and nutritious pastures. In the lower relief, the visibility of its light coat increases, turning it into a strategic target for grey wolf packs. During these transits, the inhabitant maintains millimetric vigilance, evaluating every vibration of the environment before making any movement. The persistence of its lineage depends on its ability to return quickly to the safety of the vertical basalt walls. The Rocky Mountain goat is the guardian of the summits, a wonder of evolution reigning with absolute firmness. Shadows lengthen in the lower levels of the Rocky Mountains, where oak and fir forests create a labyrinth of dense and humid vegetation. In this dark kingdom, danger lurks in the form of heavier competitors, claiming the best foraging territories during the abundance season. An American black bear glides through the ferns, revealing a dark coat that makes it almost invisible in the understory gloom. Its priority is to find concentrated energy sources like nuts or wild insect hives before the cold hardens the earth. If it doesn't accumulate enough adipose tissue, its winter dormancy will be interrupted by hunger, threatening its basic survival. The bear stops its march and lifts its snout to catch the chemical molecules floating in the forest's humid air. Its olfactory epithelium possesses an extraordinary sensitivity, allowing it to track food trails at a distance of up to 3 kilometers. Unlike its larger relatives, this ursid possesses short and curved claws specifically designed for vertical mobility on smooth trunks. A dominant scent of grizzly bear floods the clearing, forcing the forest dweller to seek an immediate escape route. Danger approaches. With surprising power, the black bear scales a 20-meter-high pine tree using its limbs to propel itself with amazing quickness. From the heights, it cautiously observes how the threat passes below without noticing its presence among the upper branches. The versatility of its diet allows it to take advantage of nuts in the treetops, a resource that the great terrestrial giants cannot reach. The ability to adapt to different forest strata ensures that this species prospers even in the presence of superior competitors. But tranquility is fleeting as daylight begins to fade and other nocturnal hunters initiate their silent patrol. The crystalline currents of the Rocky Mountains flow with an untamable force among granite canyons where the water stays at a few degrees Celsius, even during summer. The surface of alpine lakes begins to cover with a thin layer of frost that threatens to seal access to vital resources hidden in the depths. Over this frozen mirror, the bald eagle patrols, an aerial predator whose 2-meter wingspan allows it to dominate thermal currents with minimal effort. Its objective is to locate the essential protein moving beneath the surface, before winter definitively closes its window of opportunity. If it fails to ensure a successful catch, its energy will drop rapidly, forcing it to resort to stealing prey from other competitors to avoid starvation. The sky's queen flies in wide circles, scanning every centimeter of water with a concentration that only a hunter of its lineage can maintain. Scientifically, its vision is 4 times sharper than that of a human, allowing it to detect the glint of a fish's scales from over a kilometer away. Its wings possess a special feather structure that reduces turbulence, allowing it to perform tight turns and trajectory adjustments with millimetric precision. A gusty wind hits its wings, challenging its stability, but the eagle adjusts its attack angle to stay firm over its prey's position. The attack begins with a dizzying descent. It reaches a speed of 160 kilometers per hour while tucking its wings to transform into a living projectile heading toward the surface. At the last second, it extends its legs and plunges its talons into the cold water, catching a fish that has hardly had time to react. Its talons can exert a pressure force of nearly 300 newtons, which guarantees that the catch won't slip despite the animal's slimy skin. Upon rising again toward the pines, the bald eagle reaffirms its role as a regulator of aquatic populations, maintaining the lake's biological balance. The success of this maneuver ensures its position at the top of the food chain, but the horizon shows dark clouds bringing an imminent storm. Winter in the Rocky Mountains descends like a heavy white veil, transforming vibrant valleys into an ice desert where the wind howls without rest. Beneath this grey sky, the temperature drops to 30 degrees Celsius below zero, freezing the breath of living beings in the crystalline air. In this season, the landscape itself becomes the most dangerous predator, claiming the lives of those who cannot endure the rigor of extreme cold. A group of elk clusters on exposed slopes, using their hooves to dig through a meter of snow in search of dry grass. If they cannot reach sustenance, their fat reserves will deplete quickly, leaving their bodies vulnerable to fatigue and hunger. The Canada lynx navigates this environment with a unique evolutionary advantage, as its feet act as natural snowshoes, distributing its weight evenly. Scientifically, this adaptation reduces the load on the snow, allowing it to walk on the surface while other animals sink into deep deposits. For grey wolves, every pursuit in deep snow represents a massive energy expenditure that must be immediately compensated with a successful kill. A failed hunt in midwinter is not just a disappointment, but a biological risk that can weaken the entire pack for weeks. Frozen ground presents invisible obstacles where layers of crystallized ice can cause injuries to the joints of the most experienced predators. Many ungulates initiate a descent toward lowlands, where snow cover is less, allowing them to conserve the vital heat needed to survive. Muscular resistance is tested when they must fight against wind gusts reaching 100 kilometers per hour in mountain passes. Winter is the supreme judge of the Rockies, filtering the weak and strengthening the lineage of those who possess the will to persist. Calm returns briefly when a new storm begins to cover fresh tracks, indicating that the fight for life is just beginning. Autumn transforms the Rocky Mountain landscape into a vibrant canvas of ochres and golds, where aspen leaves tremble at the first whisper from the north. Beneath this fleeting beauty hides a relentless warning, as the temperature drops rapidly to 0 degrees Celsius during clear nights. Every forest inhabitant feels the pressure of the biological clock, indicating that the time of abundance is coming to an end. The common goal is the massive accumulation of energy, a desperate process that defines who will cross the threshold of winter and who will fall by the wayside. An insufficient reserve of body fat is a silent sentence for species that rely on lethargy to survive total scarcity. The grizzly bear scours berry bushes with feverish urgency, consuming up to 30,000 small fruits in a single day of foraging. This state is known as hyperphagia, where the animal increases its caloric intake drastically to gain up to 2 kilograms of weight daily. Meanwhile, the valleys resonate with the roar of bull elk entering the critical phase of reproduction known as the rut. Red squirrels compete fiercely for conifer seeds, hiding thousands of cones in underground stores that they must protect from opportunistic thieves. predators take advantage of their prey's distraction to perform successful attacks, securing the energy needed to face the months of extreme cold. Autumn is nature's great filter, a reminder that life in the mountains depends on preparation and genetic resistance. The wind changes direction and the air becomes dense. A first snowflake floats in the grey air, announcing that the time of abundance has officially expired for everyone. The millennial balance of the Rocky Mountains faces today a silent but devastating transformation that alters the rhythm of the seasons. Average temperatures have increased steadily, causing glaciers to retreat toward the highest peaks. Forest inhabitants, from the large predator to the small rodent, perceive that the air no longer brings the usual freshness of past summers. The vital goal now is the search for water, a resource that becomes increasingly scarce as springs dry up. The absence of moisture transforms lush vegetation into a carpet of dry fuel, ready to ignite at the slightest spark. Species are forced to migrate toward unknown lands in a desperate search for more favorable climatic conditions. Scientific records show that snowmelt now occurs several weeks earlier than normal, breaking the reproductive cycle of many plants. Forest fires are more intense and frequent, reaching propagation speeds of up to 10 kilometers per hour in rugged terrain. Dense smoke suffocates the air and reduces hunters' visibility, while extreme heat weakens the resistance of young animals. The pine squirrel watches as its seed stores are consumed by flames, forcing it to abandon the trees that have been its home for generations. The American black bear must alter its traditional foraging route, seeking food in urban areas due to the loss of its natural berry sources. Elk groups delay their descent toward low valleys because the unusual heat of 40 degrees Celsius alters their migratory patterns. A wall of fire advances uncontrollably, devouring thousands of hectares in a single afternoon and forcing every living being into a race for life. The result is a landscape of ashes where nature's resilience will be tested under an increasingly relentless sun. Climate transformation redefines the meaning of survival, reminding us that the mountain always has the last word on its children's fate. Amidst the charred trunks, a small plant begins to sprout, suggesting that life will always find a way even in the ashes. The Rocky Mountain Range rises like a granite, and snow backbone dominating the continent with its eternal and majestic presence. From deep valleys covered in firs to steep cliffs where air becomes thin, each stratum is a stage of fierce competition. The grizzly bear rules forest clearings with the brute force of a 350-kilogram body, reminding us that physical power is an indisputable command tool. On the open plains, the grey wolf proves that success doesn't lie in the individual, but in the perfect coordination of a pack that acts as a single heartbeat. The puma watches from the shadows of rocky ledges, using stealth to turn gravity into a silent weapon during its ambush attacks. The wolverine, with its steel will, challenges predators that exceed it in size, proving that tenacity is vital at the limit of the impossible. In the sky's blue domain, the golden eagle patrols with a telescopic vision that allows it to see the world from a perspective inaccessible to terrestrial beings. Scientifically, life at altitudes above 3,000 meters requires blood adaptations that allow transporting oxygen with maximum efficiency in low-pressure conditions. Every calorie obtained is a geological treasure, as the metabolic expenditure to maintain body heat at 40 degrees Celsius below zero is constant and exhausting. No single throne exists on these peaks, for each species has carved its own niche of dominance through millions of years of evolution. However, when storms lash with winds of 100 kilometers per hour, even the strongest hunters must bow before the environment's fury. The true king of the Rocky Mountains is not of flesh and bone, but the mountain itself, an entity of stone and ice that dictates the rules. Only those who possess the ability to adapt to the most drastic changes receive permission to see the dawn over the snowy peaks. Survival here is not a natural right, but a privilege earned every day through instinct, strength, and tactical intelligence. While the sun sets, the Rockies remain imperturbable, waiting for the next generation of warriors who will dare to challenge its eternal greatness. Please subscribe to the channel and share this video to spread the message of respect. Every action helps protect nature's wonderful creation